Welcome back to Q Dads. I'm Steve, and following episode 2 of Severance, we have a theory around Gemma slash Miss Casey. So, just like Cold Harbour, we are only so far complete. So, you can help us get to 100% by subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. So, without further ado, let's dig straight into this theory. So, firstly, I just want to explain how I get to the theory and what's led me there. So, at the end of episode 1, basically, we have a shot of Mark's face as he starts typing into the computer. Well, I say typing, he's using the mouse, gathering the numbers, and he puts them into a box. And then, after that, it zooms out of his face and zooms in to Miss Casey slash Gemma's face. And basically, as it zooms out on that, you can see some medical information down the left-hand side, heart rate and other stuff like that. And in the top corner, it says Cold Harbour, 68% complete. Now, obviously, last week, I speculated immediately that Mark is trying to rebuild Gemma's memories. And that's where my theory all spans from. But then, this week, following episode 2, where we get to see all of the outies time during those 2 days and not 5 months. Obviously, we learn more and more that actually the board of Lumen is focusing on Cold Harbour, and clearly Mark is key to their project as they strive and do whatever they can to get Mark's innie back in that office. Not only that, we also hear Mark talk about how he did identify the body of Gemma. So obviously the speculation that Gemma just went straight there and never died. He did say he identified a body, but it was burnt. And as me and Ben spoke about in our other video, which we'll link up somewhere up here, that means technically, although he identified something, Lumen could have easily swapped that body out. And that Gemma obviously is at Lumen. We've seen Miss Casey, which is Gemma. So basically, something happened there and Lumen has her. And this is where my theory now stems from. So basically, back in season 1, Mark's talking to people outside in the outside world, and they ask him, why did you quit being a lecturer slash teacher at a university or college, if I remember right? And the key bit of information here he drops is he says, actually, his wife used to be there as well, and obviously her dying, he didn't want to do that anymore because it reminded him too much of her, hence why he then got severed. Now, this is where the theory completely stems from. We don't know what Gemma did, right? We don't know what her career aspirations were, what she was. All we know is that she was Mark's wife. What if she made some groundbreaking discovery or something about Lumen that she didn't tell Mark about? Because I personally think, for some reason, Gemma could have potentially been working for Lumen secretly. I don't think Gemma slash Miss Katie is now Severance. I think it's just the same person. It's just something has happened. So yeah, here's what I think. Basically, she made this discovery. She was on the way to Lumen to tell them about it, or she was on the way to the press to tell other people about something in Lumen. And basically, she got into an accident. Now, is that of Lumen's doing or of her own doing? I don't know. Personally, I think Lumen had something to do with her accident. It's clearly we've seen they're willing to go well beyond normal things to make things work here. And obviously, I wonder if it's something to do with that first season where we had the guy who had his severed and unsevered memories in the same thing. Because obviously, we saw one of their henchmen get killed, essentially, and that's just completely glossed over. So yeah, I think basically Gemma was hunted down by Lumen because she discovered something. They got her into an accident when they were trying to kidnap her. They planted a body where she was, took her body, and they've been experimenting on her ever since. But I think the accident has caused her to either be brain dead, is one of my main theories, or some kind of crazy amount of amnesia, or something that's messed with her completely. Hence why, in season 1, they brought her upstairs with some memories. I think she might know who Mark is, basically. But obviously knows that's only his innie. Hence why she said it was the best time of her life, spending it with him. I think, basically, she's gone ahead and been told certain things. They've brought her upstairs to speak to Mark for a few times, just to see if anything clicks in her mind or whatnot. And it didn't, so they took her back down to testing. Or it did, and they took her back down to testing, hence why something sparked up. But anyway, either way, I think Mark is key because he's the one that's got to rebuild Gemma's memory. I think there's something locked away in her head that only Mark really can get to because he's got to rebuild Gemma's memory initially, which is why they always say the refiners get like a sense of feeling about things. And I think the other 3 people there with Mark are just red herrings, basically. They're doing something, but maybe they're working on something else in Lumen. Maybe they are helping, but it needs Mark to do the main job. And again, when it zoomed out and it said Cold Harbour, 68% finished, and the fact that Helena was speaking about it with the board, that for me cemented the fact that Mark is messing or doing something with Gemma's memories or something, and that's what's going on there. So I think Miss Huang is basically just a red herring. She's just probably a young girl who looks. She's probably just a young adult who looks really young. Because again, as I said, her actress is actually 18. So I don't think she's actually a child. I think she just looks really young. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you think Mark is having to rebuild Gemma's memories, which is why Lumen need Mark, and I can't have anyone else, because Lumen, because Mark was so close to Gemma, only he really understands her, and she has some information that Lumen desperately need. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us today. Hopefully you're enjoying these face videos. Let me know in the comments if you are. And obviously, let me know in the comments your thoughts on this theory. Do you have your own theory on Miss Casey / Gemma? If you do, let us know in the comments. Obviously, there's no spoilers here other than the episodes, because there's no book that it's based on as far as I'm aware. So yeah, let us know. And if you have enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps the channel to grow. And as always, we'll catch you next time with something new.